right, we are about to go live. Laser Jesus, CLG versus Games Academy. Pistol round underway. CLG starting on the CT side. I'm not really sure what that first flashbang was actually for, to be honest with you. As I missed it. Yeah, it was, actually, I think it was towards top middle. So anybody just kind of trying to get some information, peeking middle, would be blinded by said hazed. First blood in this match. JDM's going to fall back here, and we're going to see him hit some heads, actually, as already a 1v3.
And Hen here is going to have to work the magic with the Glock. The bomb is down on the catwalk. So we have Cutler. Oh, nice little scissors he's got. Just noticed that. So, Henny, yes. So, 1-on-3 again. Bomb down, it's actually inside of the spawn area. And how does he retrieve that? This is way worse than catwalk. How do you get the bomb from the spawn area? Given that the CTs know exactly where it is. So, Henny gonna look for it here. He has a lot of time to work with, so that's something he has going for them. And while I have a little time, the 2-on-2 setup, the CTs were playing a bit thin. We sometimes see a 3-1-1 on the pistol round. And Games Academy tried to go for the split, get shut down. Henny down to just 12 HP, trying to retrieve the bomb, has the wrong weapon for the situation. And Cutler is gonna bring him down. 1-0 for CLG, and that was a pretty good start for Cutler.
Oh yeah, certainly, as he does get the hat trick in the pistol round. Not too shabby at all, and we're actually going to see a forced up buy here. Armor and pistol from the Games Academy side. What kind of strategy are we going to be looking for as FNX looking to head towards long A? He sent some players towards lower dark as well, though. So good group up in middle. We got color actually.
It's interesting that Gamers Academy as well. Like, generally you go Tech 9 armor, but they want head armor, so they go P250s. It's just a little difference, but...
Yeah, that actually is an interesting difference here, as at least Eddie not interested. He does get that Tech 9, but yeah, 3 of the players, like you were suggesting, they will get that head armor, and who knows, it could make the difference here, as JDM going to be scouting from that A ramp area. We'll see if he can be effective, as they are going to flash, and he... Actually, I don't know if he spotted if they went down to CG spawn, and Hayes actually goes down immediately. JDM able to fire back with his USPS and the jumper, but eventually goes down.
Oh, don't give Henny that scout. This man can put it to some great use, but no, CLG responds. Multiple frags their way, and now FNX all alone here with the Tech 9 trying to burst at the distance. But Tarek is going to come and save his teammate, and 2-0 for CLG. The first player went down hazed near the long crossing, and JDM did a great job staying alive. He had a scout right there, and that's not the weapon you want when a bunch of people are rushing you.
No, not in the slightest, as, yeah, I think Hayes got possibly caught off guard there by, again, they kind of smoked towards CT spawn, they throw out a flash. I don't think JDM spotted that they had dropped a player towards that CT ramp, and then Hayes, yeah, again, caught off guard, but JDM recovering very well, like you were stating there with that USPS frag, and you know, we will see just P250s across the board. I'm going to head back towards middle, and looks like they're interested in catwalk yet again. And to be fair, they had some success over there previous, and they do have smokes again in this round. So I imagine we're actually going to see something very similar.
And JDM is going to be here with the scout once more. This time it's Cutler trying to hang on to the bomb site. Smokes out catwalk. We may see the CT spawn drop, and yes, they come down CT spawn. Cutler from the bomb site. Henny, the only player to get a frag for the T side so far, still alive. JDM with that scout. Gamers Academy, maybe a bit too thin. I mean, they have a player on the flank. I guess if the flanker would catch somebody with a weapon, then it would be worth it. But if you don't take the bomb site, there's no reason to rotate.
Yep, indeed. As Henny, last one alive. Gonna have to drop down at CT spawn to grab the bomb, and that will be the end of the round for the Games Academy team. Quick 3-0, and we took a look at how many they lost in those rounds. Honestly, pretty darn effective of anti-ecos. Keeping the economy a little bit in check, but...
All right, let's get our eyes on Henny here, because this man is going to be looking for entry frags, and he has been phenomenal thus far from what I've seen from him. And it looks like he is going to play a more passive route as they do cross middle. And now Gamers Academy, Games Academy. I was saying it all the previous cast.
Oh boy, yeah.
Somebody messed me up. I am so sorry. I am going to fix it. But in the last match I casted with Games Academy, they rarely rushed anything. It's like their movement, they will poke early, but there's rarely a commitment, an entire commitment early on in the round. And when you have an opera like Henny, I mean, even if you go down a player at the start of the round, you can have that guy try to work a pick for you. As I guarantee we're going to see some fireworks from this guy sometime in the match, but he has gone for a bit of a glass cannon, supplemented by a smoke and a flash. And now we see it looks to be a long and catwalk split, but it may be just a fake here as they're still having that player watch lower B. So initiating now is Games Academy, but Hayes, he's pushed up right on the other side of the smoke. Lucas and FNX goes down. Henny, I was just highlighting that this man, if you go down early a couple players, he can bring it back for you, but he's not going to find the frag through the smoke.
No, unfortunately not. They're going to take the bomb up catwalk. Taco already at elbow. He's got Showtime with him as well. And he eventually going to show up to the scene as well. Taco, nice frag onto JDM, but they still have a flash, and Tarek and CT Ramp going to hear them thunderfooting around on the platform itself. Going to try and retreat back to catwalk, and that's Hazed in middle. Able to take one down. Tarek onto the next, and Showtime 1v4. He's going to take down one. Nice headshot onto Hayes there. Going to flash on out to FNS. He does peek in time, and right in the back of the head. Showtime just milliseconds away from possibly blinding Finesse and maybe continuing his success.
Yeah, I kind of like that pop flash. I mean, he was still susceptible from the player pushing him from catwalk, from the bomb site. But the idea was there. Unfortunately, the timing worked out for FNS and CLG. 4-0 now, and a force buy from Games Academy. Chad?
Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting...
Who broke me?
We need to find that person and get them to fix you.
Somebody told me that it was Gamers Academy, and then it was just broken from there. But anyways, Games Academy on the force buy. They don't have a full nade set here, and even Henny without armor. I'd like to see them get an op in the hands of Henny. Then again, I haven't seen them on Dust 2. So maybe it's not part of what they need to gather these rounds. They're going to be coming up the catwalk here. We do have JDM with the Yob. He's going to try to line him up. They've dropped a player into the spawn. JDM hits the flick shot down below. And now coming to assist him is his teammate from the elevator area. That's going to be Cutler trying to make his way into the bomb site. Taco going to be planning for catwalk. Tons of smoke. Still on catwalk as well. That's cutting off the CT vantage point. But can they hang on to catwalk, given that they haven't made any of these CTs coming from B burn their nades?
Yeah, exactly. And the next still from long, he will go down to Finesse. So Showtime from the catwalk area. Last one alive. Sees the Molotov go toward quad box, but when he peeks out, that will be Finesse able to deal the damage and actually left with a single hit point. So a quick 5-0. Nice work here from CLG.
And they still had a smoke there in the hands of Cutler. So even if they went down a player there, drop that smoke onto catwalk, force him to come out. Yeah, that should have been their round. So Gamers Academy, Chad.
I think you should just go with GA.
GA?
I think GA is going to fix our issues here. As,
GA? All right, I'm going to try that.
GA, Games Academy. They are down here, and again, we were kind of analyzing before the match went live that maybe the confidence not as soaring as you may suspect. Again, we know the Games Academy guys, very formidable opponents, but do they even count themselves out of it? Again, Fallen was the one that was suggesting that they really respect a team like CLG, so understandably so.
Yeah, perhaps it was all a ruse, just trying to hype him up or something?
Maybe. Maybe, right? I have no idea. JDM will receive a little bit of contact. Actually, it's Cutler. Lucas going to try and dive bomb into CT spawn. Tark in middle goes down after only getting the one frag. But nonetheless, it's still player advantage to the CT side. Showtime and FNX last up.
FNX needs to cut off the rotate if Showtime is going to commit onto this B bomb site where only FNS is lying in wait, but he's going to go hide out in the cubby in this spot. Are you going to check it this late into the round? Probably not. I'd be quite surprised if FNX indeed did.
Oh, look at JD. Yeah.
Right, this spot here.
Oh,
JDM.
boy.
He's trying to cut off the rotate, trying to get another frag for his teammate to try to alleviate some of the pressure. And now Showtime coming in. If he checks this, he is an absolute god, and he's not going to do it. So 6-0 for CLG. And of course, I'm joking when I say it's all a ruse. I entirely believe Fallen thinks that this team can bring it. But against CLG, I mean, they are a big name.
No, I meant that he was saying that they might be too respectful of CLG, and that's going to be working against them because they're that worried. Yeah, exactly. So it's not that they're coming in. They're almost might be lacking confidence here. When, again, we see them as a very formidable opponent, but them themselves could be...
Anybody who beats Luminosity is formidable. So that's weird that they beat Luminosity and then
The only thing I can think of is that domestic matchup. If they're just thinking that,
Yeah.
oh, we play them all the time, and that's why they've read them so well, but against, they haven't really had a chance to hit these really, really solid teams. So, again, we'll see if they can build any success here. At the moment, not really seeming so. This is an eco, though, as it's going to go all the way up the CT side. Not a single frag was had in that round, and that's where the economy of CLG, it is getting pretty out of control. We actually see a pause coming in from Games Academy, and I'm wondering if at this point that's actually for tactical reasons. They're down 7-0. First map of the best of 3. Try and kind of gather your sense, especially if they do have their coach right behind. If he's seeing things he's not liking, he's got to put a stop to it.
I mean, I like this tactical pause at this point, if indeed it is a tactical pause. They're just about to have enough money to buy whatever they want, and they need something to check them at this point. I mean, if that is the reality, that they're giving CLG a bit too much respect, that can be a difficult hurdle to overcome.
Yep.
If you think your opponents are truly better than you, and then there's that like aura of mystique, like you haven't played them before, and you're not accustomed to them. So let's see if this tactical pause is going to work. Is it a tactical pause? Let's see here. I'm not entirely sure just
they
yet.
didn't say inside of the chat. That being said, usually if it's something technical, they will say mouse or something to that effect. So I'm going to assume it was tactical. We're going to find out if there's anything different that goes on here.
That's a short tactical pause, if indeed it was.
Which is true.
So Gamers Academy GA going to be splitting up towards the catwalk here. And they are very spread out again. I mean, at what point do they stop like going for the spread out kind of default type works and just go for, you know, a mid to B commitment? Because at some point, if this is not working, you got to call it quits. You got to try something different. If it gets to that 10-0 point and they haven't tried anything different, that concerns me.
Yeah, I completely agree. As yet again taking towards catwalk, no one dropping it a CT spawn as of yet. We'll see a bunch about to hit a shot as again takes down JDM. So will be a 2-on-4. FNX up on catwalk with his teammate here, and on the flank it's going to be Hazed. Takes down FNX. Now 1v4, and yet again it's going to be FNS to finish off the round. So they're going to be capped out on money pretty quick here on the CLG end, and I had a lot of questions coming into this, and they're kind of being answered here, at least a little bit. But we are still early. Round 9 could bring it back.
If they are being tentative because of what we were talking about prior, I mean, if they could shake that off, we're not really seeing what kind of players they really are. If they're timid and just kind of passive for those reasons. But Tarek is going to wield the op now. Gets the opening frag onto Lucas. And still very spread out. At what point, if you're not getting any of the entry frags at the beginning of the round, sure, you've established that nobody's pushing. That's great, but nobody from CLG really is pushing too often. I mean, go for a commitment or something. It's getting to the point where they got to start getting desperate. I mean, it's already 8-0. The economy's out of control. You got to try something different here if you are the T side. But maybe they can make this work, as they're still grouped up at middle here. No op for Henny. Now are they going to try their mid to B execute? That's what it's looking like so far. But this 2-1-2, they're going to have app numbers to deal with this.
Yeah, we can see Cutler actually up on that boost spot. This is actually a really potent position to deal with this kind of play. You can see Taco's actually currently checking it, but Cutler's playing in a way that he's going to be well hidden until they decide to go for it. And actually a nice pop flash from, I believe that was from the B double doors. Going to slow things down further, but it's finesse. First frag for him. Tarek's going to whiff a shot, and eventually Showtime takes him down, but the rest of his team have done the work. The bomb is down on B ramp.
Yeah, he's got to recover it here. 15 seconds remaining. He does find an AWP, but unless he wins the round, economic damage is not that important right now. They got to win rounds. CLG, their economy is truly out of control. We use that term loosely often, but this is a truly out of control situation for GA here, and he might go down after the time. Hayes looking for the spam. This would be even worse, and he misses his shot. Hayes ruins Showtime's day. $300. What is he going to rock a nade?
Yeah, that Hayes just destroying the dreams in some ways, as like you had said.
Oh, he's going with the P250.
He's gonna go with it.
Money well spent.
Maybe he can make something work, but another eco for the T side, and they're gonna go right through the Molotov here. They do drop a smoke. That's Taco, but Tarek gonna utilize that to basically just tunnel them through it. And Tarek actually dualies. Sure, at this point, go with the win, Tarek.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him spray a bunch of people down with the M4, and then I was quite shocked when he just whipped out the dualies all of a sudden. That's pretty random, and didn't expect that. I mean, does he usually wield the dually? I suppose it's Tarek. Like, he's going to shank people. He's going to go for that kind of stuff.
Right. He does go for those dive bomb knife frags quite often.
Oh, yeah.
They're quite awesome if you get to witness them. And
right.
dualies,
no matter the stage, too.
I feel like that's kind of a statement to show that he's comfortable. As when he's doing the knife stuff, definitely comfortable. And picking up the dualies, I think, again, that's a bit of a statement here that he's doing big things and feeling great about them.
And look at this. GA finally catch finesse aggressing. CLG hasn't aggressed in so long, and when they finally do, they get that opening kill, they trade it. But now, can they finally close one of these rounds out? Tarek hanging on to the B-bomb site like a boss. Henny trying to run through the smoke here. Tarek, that's going to be 3. Make it 4, Tarek. Putting on a clinic here.
Yeah, that was actually the full ace.
Oh,
very
man.
Nice.
Can't count.
Yeah. That was some incredible play from him, and didn't take a heck of a lot of damage doing so either. Just picking them apart, utilizing his positioning, and 11-0. Oh boy, this.
I mean, they're going for that forfeit win right now.
This is. Could we see a CLG shutout? I honestly would like to see a close match. I'm not gonna lie. I stated my prediction to actually be a 2-0 to some other people, and I'm not sure if that's going to be the same situation. We do have Train coming up next as map number 2, but we got to remember, this is Game Academy's choice.
And that's got to be demoralizing.
Oh, yeah.
I was casting the previous GA match with Bach, and I said they had beaten their opponents 12-3, and I said I want to see them win the pistol round just so I could see more of their retakes. I was that impressed by their CT side retakes. This is not the same team that I'm seeing right now versus CLG. They are up 11-0. I mean, even if they win out at this point,
yeah,
pretty bad situation.
Yeah.
On the CT side, oh god, we're gonna need GA to run away after winning the pistol round. Whole lot of things need to happen at this point for GA to claim victory on this map, but they're going to go for an A split here. Problem being, 2 members of CLG are sitting outside of long. And we have Cutler here at the blue bin. I don't know if they've given this look to GA just yet. If GA doesn't check it, this could be pretty bad, but no, they're going to Molotov it off, and FNX brings that player down. That's going to be Cutler at Hayes to follow suit as Lucas takes his head off and misses the shot. That's JDM. This is the best chance they've had.
Yeah, Showtime's going to take down Finesse on the flank, and Tarek, can he do it? He got an ace in the last round. He's going to have to come up with 4 if he wants to keep this shutout dream real, as he knows that they're peeking towards CT spawn at him. Already saw that shot come his direction, and he's not going to be able to get it done here. Taco will be severely lit down to about 50, but the first round comes in. Oh, look at the money. Like, CLG will buy for the rest of the having Cutler actually accidentally buying an AUG. He's like, I'll just set that over there.
Right.
It doesn't even matter.
Hopefully the child doesn't pick that up or something. It's a random AUG. Whose AUG is this?
Right.
Chad, are you... Oh, never mind. All right, CLG here. 11-1, looking to finish off the half. If they win this round, economy just shattered of GA. Now grouping up at middle, and the GA is playing a different style of Dust 2 than I am used to seeing. They spread out a whole bunch, and usually teams will just execute that mid to B fake, go to catwalk, and just kind of jiggle back and forth from the catwalk and try to fake you out. They haven't been going for that often, but CLG has been getting a whole bunch of entry frags.
And we are going to see JDM passing a couple nades towards the catwalk area, and I'm just going to pause for a moment here as Taco just waiting for an aggressive push, and not a surprise that he's doing so, as a lot of teams actually for that smoke, they'll actually flash a player through, and it actually turns into a really neat play because you just bust through smoke like a superhero and just take down like 3 blind players. It turns out to be one of those frag reel clips.
This is the exact same strat that the T's are trying. Oh, they're going to rotate that player off to mid.
Yeah, and it worked last round, so we'll see if they can reproduce. At this point, if you've run out of ideas in some way, shape, or form, and you're this far through and you get one in, I really don't see a problem really going for this. Yeah, in theory, CLG should probably adapt, but as of now, things are really working out for the Games Academy, and they might be kicking themselves thinking, oh, we should have tried that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's a delayed straight up commitment.
Yep.
It's not like they're trying to throw a fake or anything. I was calling for this previously from them, but they're just going to do this is an really old school strat. Simple as it comes. You know, somebody's calling in your pug. 3-2 split onto A. That's exactly what we're seeing from GA.
Yep.
And CLG now struggling to hold. Perhaps GA building a bit of confidence, but it's a bit late on
It is.
Dust 2 here at 11-2.
Yeah, it certainly is. As moving into the round 14, we'll see if they can at least close it out 11-4, and maybe they're just a little slow to start in this map, and they can bring it back on their CT front. As, again, when I was casting these guys, they were doing a lot of kind of aggression, like tunnels, for example, grouped up, they'll push up, they'll try and find some info if there's a player there, they'll deal with it, and then they fall back. Same deal with Catwalk. Similar play to what we're kind of familiar seeing, but Games Academy, generally speaking, pretty in sync in that respect, and looks like they are kind of gaining ground here. A little bit of mid-presence once again, and Henny actually looking to peek through the double doors. They're going to smoke middle to B. Whether or not they're going to commit to it is still beyond me, though.
Yeah, it still remains to be seen. GA haven't disclosed to us what exactly their plan is just yet as they bring the bomb into B, following him from lower. And they have the players working up catwalk. This is getting pretty weird. I mean, if we did see a CT push into B and that bomb was lost, well, that could very well be the round. But now they're going to try for the ninja drop into CT spawn. This is a variation on the mid to B, and boy, do I like it. Problem being, the bomb is all alone coming from the tunnels. So if he gets dropped, then there will be a problem, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Finesse tries to assist Tarek, but they both go down instead. Cutler and Hayes remain as JDM falls.
Yeah, so 2 on 3 as they got 20 seconds. They are getting the bomb set, but still in the middle. Here is Henny, and he is whiffing at the moment. Can't get anything for himself. Oh, I guess he did one frag earlier round, so did at least get that, but 2 on 2 as both players with kits. And again, round 14, we look at the monetary situation of the CT side. Well, they're still looking all right here. So they are going to continue on forward. That Molotov on point as burns to death. Now it's only Showtime, but he's got a Molotov, and to be fair, that's the round. Even if they jumped on it, Cutler very, very low, and nice play by Showtime. 1v2 gets the job done, and we don't see that a ton with the Molotovs. That was actually a really nice timing too. Knows it's a 1v2, drops that, and then falls back slightly.
Yeah, and CLG had taken long enough to reach the bomb site that it kind of reached critical mass, if you will, with the timing. That once he placed the Molotov, that's checkmate.
Yep.
Unless they have a smoke, of course. But looks like GA going to slow things down once more, and they are rallying hard. Problem being, they can't carry the momentum, except like the intangible form of momentum, the stuff that that doesn't transfer directly into the game. But still, I guess morale, momentum, they can bring that into the next half. So have they rallied too late is the question, because CLG, they're just looking up at 11. Even if we lose the rest of the half, we're still in a great position here. So GA got catwalk control, got tunnels as well as long control as well. They've ensured nobody is pushing, and now they're going to be beginning to make their move as Henny is going to be trying to engage from the catwalk. This guy's been kind of quiet from what I'm used to seeing him do with this AWP, and he's going to try to peek them into the Molotov, and there is a smoke thrown from his teammate to allow him passage. Continuing the pressure onto catwalk here. Henny still looking for someone. His teammate is actually taking the first fight. He loses the duel to JDM. Just posted up. And that's the problem with a new op. If somebody is posted up, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Unless you do like the tricky crouch peek.
Right. Sometimes that comes into play. Lucas going to follow the footsteps as he wants to make it work. JDM trying to make a frag clip out of this, says he is going to get another one for himself. 4 couldn't complete the ace. FNX will put him down, but the damage has been done. 12-3, and yeah, like you had stated, and he actually did get the cross pick in that he legged Finesse. You can see he's at 18 hit points, but that was the only time that he was able to do so. That being said, obviously, it wasn't until they got more loss bonus that he could get that op in his hands.
Yeah.
But 12-3, not a fun situation here on Dust 2 as, again, it's Games Academy's map choice.
Yeah, that's the demoralizing part. And now we're at the situation, if they don't win pistol round or the following force buy, that is going to be it. They haven't allowed themselves any wiggle room at this point. So if CLG's B-bust here works, oh, they deked me out. They are going to be heading into lower B here. And look at this push from GA. They have so many members at long. CLG, if they execute mid to B, this would be the perfect strategy. Hopefully they don't fake themselves out for their sake, but they are going to come up into catwalk, and we might see this fake just work out perfectly for GA.
Indeed it might, as we will see Cutler head out middle to B, spots out Taco, but the rest going up the catwalk area. Lucas going to be the first line of defense. We see Finesse jumping into CT spawn. They're hitting shots here, but it is going to be a 3-on-3. JDM goes down, so the bomb is going to be dropped. Both players, or at least Finesse, inside of CT spawn. Cutler going to try and come up on the flank. Showtime lurking at the stairs, though, will hit the shot, and that's going to be... Finesse actually did hit that one onto Lucas, but goes down thereafter, and that is a pistol round that was absolutely required if GA want to form some kind of comeback.
And those kind of rounds always intrigue me. Like, it's so hard to predict how they're going to pan out, because when the CTs go for a push and the Ts, they kind of like wrap around them on the map. This is just the timing of their pushes just happen to where they don't see each other. I had no idea what was going to transpire there, but I do know what's happening here. GA are just destroying CLG, trying to make their way out long, emphasizing trying.
Yeah, no doubt about that, as we did see 2 SMG frags, 3 on the M4 for Showtime. And I just like saying that name, Showtime.
Showtime.
Right? He's clutching a 1v1. I'm going to try my best at just like emphasizing that. But he's got to show it to us as they are mounting a comeback here. I've got 5 rounds. It's definitely at the early stages, but you see Tech9's across the board for the T's here, and actually 4 flashbangs. So how are they going to take? I can imagine that he's going to get knocked down to 50 hit points immediately upon entering the catwalk area. And yeah, this group up play towards catwalk, got a feeling we're going to see at least one flash to provide their entrance on out, and Finex not able to capitalize as they cross finally against Hazen. And he comes up with one as well, but 3-on-4, or 3-on-5 rather.
They're trying to close the distance with these Tech9s, but unfortunately Cutler is still isolated at the catwalk. He is going to go down, and given the investment, 5 Tech9s, 1 kill, probably not worth it here, but we are now on to the first gun round of the second half. With such a monstrous first half, CLG only need 4 rounds after starting it with the first gun round here. It's going to be JDM with that AWP. Not going to damage anybody on the cross. Henny does not have one. I'm not sure, if that's part of their strategy on the CT side. It's going to be Showtime wielding it, so maybe Henny is not confident with it.
I was thinking it was spawn-based, possibly.
Okay,
Showtime had a really nice long spawn. But who knows? Maybe he's not feeling it.
And look at the difference between how they play the T side. GA never just ran outside of mid dry, and then immediately fell back into mid.
Right.
They were taking it so slowly and methodical, but CLG, so confident. I mean, they're willing to just put themselves in those situations where, let's test our aim.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because, and why not, right? You've got a roster full of guys that are known for similar things. Obviously, some maybe a little bit more than others, but nonetheless, a very strong roster in that regard. And Vex actually comes through that CT spawn smoke. Hayes able to trade effectively, though, so 4-on-4. They still have any to deal with. Cutler goes down to him. Hayes done to Showtime. So the op is out of play, 3-on-3.
And Hayes, he is going to go down, but in exchange for one of his teammates. And now a 2-on-2. Henny heavily lit Taco at the elevator. CLG trying to make their way up the catwalk. It looks like Taco was spotted out down below. Finesse trying to finish him off. He does. And now Taco's teammate Henny, so low with the M4, has to play the headshot angle, and they are closing the distance onto him. JDM just needs 1 bullet, and it's going to be airborne. Why not?
Exactly. Why not indeed, as Glock fairly accurate while airborne. And yeah, that's going to be CLG. Yeah, Games Academy, they did get pissed around the 2 thereafter, but we see CLG bringing it right back. 13-6, and not another buy here from Games Academy. They have to save in this round, meaning it should, in theory, be 14-6 unless they can come up with some sort of chaos to create.
And I can't emphasize enough that this is their map choice. This is the one that they should have the best chance of taking at Finesse. Holding the long push, but it's going to be a multi-pronged assault from the CT side as they are pushing from upper tunnels as well. But CLG, they got 2 players watching the flank. 1 may be enough, but why not? Let's just provide 2. And Henny finds himself alone once more. And he is going to go down to finesse. So, next round, going to bust out that AWP glass cannon, I expect. But if they're going to continue the spawn-based stuff, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that long angle, when you try to rush it with an AWP and you have a bad spawn, yeah, with the op nerf.
You could definitely have a bad time. That is
oh, yeah, no fun.
For certain. So, they will actually hand it to Henny here. Henny, as he's actually going to look for a middle pick. JDM looking for a similar situation. Man, what a flick as he does land that shot, and he almost gets him again, and he just whizzing past his head, and he's just not interested any longer. So he's going to fall back towards the long side of things, and you can see the response. JDM, I'm sure he recognized that was on with that shot, and they try and challenge middle just for a moment, and if he was still there, they may have actually tried to take him down, but they gather that info, and like you had stated, again, they are going to fall back.
Yeah, and that's a neat little move by CLG. We've seen them attempt that a couple times now, where they just send 2 players out, assistance from JDM at the top of mid, and then they got 2 players probably going to get a trade, or that's what they're hoping for at least. And, you know, trading a player early at mid, not a bad thing, as it would, you know, thin out the CT side defense. So CLG trying to give GA a taste of their own medicine with the oldest strat in the book. It's going to be a 3-2 split onto the A bomb site. Showtime trying to hang onto long. He's isolated with a smoke, as CLG have provided, but no Henny. It looks like there is a hole in it. Oh, the smoke looks like it was thrown from the GA side, but Henny goes down to finesse. This would be the last gun round if CLG take it, and it looks like that's what's going to happen, as they both take up from Catwalk and Long. And yeah, they had guns, but it was really little resistance.
Yeah, now Taco 1v4 will be able to dodge the flash, and he drops AGM. Wrong team here. JDM, as AGM unfortunately is out of the tournament already. Taco now 1v2, as Tarek going to be playing a vertical angle here. Bit of a totem pole, as that's going to be Cutler to take down Taco. So 15-6. They did mount a bit of a comeback. I don't think it was enough damage control, though, that they're going to look back and feel happy about how this went.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, perhaps they're just slow starters. Again, they've never played CLG.
Yep, exactly.
Like at a LAN before, so perhaps it just takes them a bit too long to figure things out. This is now just one round in CLG, and the victory of the first map. GA pushing up the catwalk. This is going to be for the match. Every round from this point. The pop flash is great timing as Lucas, he comes out middle, but Tarek looking to respond here, and indeed he does, but trades back and forth at middle. The bomb still outside of B, as CLG decide to slow things down a little bit. Oh, Hazed gets dropped on catwalk as 2 different players give him a little dink. But the B bomb site completely open, and now Finesse, all he has to do to cut off rotate, but if the bomber goes down to the flank, that's the problem.
Yeah, and that could be the situation here, is he's going to start punching in those numbers, and he hops up towards the wrong side of things, to be fair. Oh, and he's going to miss the shot, though. Oh, no.
That's a really bad way to end the match.
Yeah. Talk about damage control and such. Any confidence that at least Henny was feeling, that may have just been stripped away. So 16-6, guys. Map number 1.
I don't know what you can take from that, really. We got 6 rounds on Dust 2. It's kind of even-sided on both sides.
And
it's your map choice.
Yeah, they that one T strat that worked and basic split onto A, and then they got pistol and those anti-ecos, and that was it.
Yeah, and now we're moving on to Train, which is an intricate map that on the T side. You need to have a bunch of stuff prepared, and if you can't get your strats going on D2, and to be completely honest, I mean, all we really saw from them up until about the 10-round mark was their slow default, and CLG was just picking them apart. And if it's going to take them that long to adjust, Train's going to be a difficult map for them, but maybe they can grab the momentum.
And we're going to find out here, as again, map number 2 is going to be coming up in just a few minutes, guys, so don't go anywhere as you are watching WinOut LAN here on Azubu.